Scheidel, Matt and Megan are off tonight. Well, a big storm is making its way to the East Coast, bringing with it what might be the biggest snowfall of the season. We have the latest forecast and information you need to stay safe in the elements. And we continue to learn more about the man who gunned down 4 firefighters in Webster, New York on Christmas Eve. Plus, neighbors returned to see their homes for the first time since the fire. And a newspaper downstate releases an interactive map showing the names and addresses of all handgun permit holders in the area. Some of their loyal readers say they've gone too far. Well, what do you think? It's the subject of our talk tonight. Feel free to weigh in on our Facebook page, cnycentral.com. But first, the latest on the storm headed our way. It's been calm so far, but we're expecting a lot of snow to come in tonight. Matt, is this going to be the biggest snowfall that we've seen this season?
Well, it all depends on where you are in the viewing area, Dora. That's a very good question because, as is often the case with such a large geographical region that we call our Central New York viewing area, there are going to be some large-scale differences from one end to the other. So let's start off with some of the generalities. Let's pop up for you on the full screen our winter storm warnings graphic. This is going to be winter storm warnings that are in effect for the entire viewing area. They're in effect now, and they remain in effect through Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening. Quite frankly, depending on how far northeast you are in the viewing area. The farther northeast you head, the later these winter storm warnings remain in effect. Here's why. Triple Doppler radar loop scan with temperatures. We're ranging anywhere from the upper teens, for example, in Penn Yan at 19, to the mid to upper 20s, for example, here in Syracuse at 27, 26 Roman Utica, 22 Oswego, and 25 degrees in Ithaca. Let's zoom in on some of the more moderate snow, even borderline heavy snow in between Union Springs and Moravia down in southern Cayuga County, sneaking up towards Auburn, some of those deeper shades of blue. Here in downtown Syracuse, I want to zoom back out real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Yes, it's technically snowing over the top of us. However, we have some dry air that's been entrenched down at the surface, so it's eating up some of that snow as it comes down towards the surface. But eventually, we will moisten up the lower levels of the atmosphere enough to support that snow. It'll be moderate to heavy at times overnight, blustery, several inches of accumulation likely. Not a lot of temperature movement, maybe even sneaking up a degree or two by first thing tomorrow morning. Snow tapers off as snow showers later tomorrow. Our high is 30. We'll talk snowfall accumulations and have the 7-day coming up. But first, don't forget we're always online at cnycentral.com with our interactive Doppler radar. An excellent tool if you want to track every aspect of this storm, right down to street level mapping. Dora.
Well, thank you, Matt. With heavy snow expected, what are crews doing to prepare? Our Alex Ruscilla has more on how they're getting ready.
Right now, snowfall predictions call for 8 to 12 inches of snow, but while an exact figure may still be up in the air, what's more grounded is the preparation that goes on round the clock to gear up for snow like this.
Our people here, we're monitoring the situation all day long, and we try to make sure that those areas that may see the greatest amount of snowfall, they're ready and they got everything they need to take care of the storm.
It's always a challenge to tackle the first big snowfall of the season, no matter how much crews may prepare. One thing that makes it easier for them to clear the road is making sure you're driving smart.
Get your windshields clear, make sure you can see the road, see other drivers, be safe, be smart.
Regardless of whether it's a smaller plow like this or a much larger vehicle like this, there's going to be a lot of moving parts throughout the next few hours. Whether it's getting the salt ready by hand or by bulldozer, On-Site takes the steps to keep the roads clear of snow.
Right now we're checking all of our equipment, shaking anything down, any problems that we might have to shake that out, repair anything that needs to be repaired. We're assuring that all of our equipment is fueled and ready to go for when the accumulation begins.
And when the snow starts to fall, go out only if needed. Watch for alerts throughout the evening and into tomorrow.
Stay off the roads as much as possible during the storm for your own safety and the safety of others. That's the best advice I can give you.
The best advice for safe travels. In Syracuse, I'm Alex Ruscilla.
Thank you, Alex, and we'll have more with a live look in Liverpool with our Tom Eschen coming up in a little bit. Well, we have new information on the officer-involved shooting yesterday in Binghamton. The man killed during a shootout with Binghamton police has now been identified. The Binghamton Press reports police shot 20-year-old Roberto Garcia after he fired shots when they approached him. Police say they received a call about 2 suspicious men on the Memorial Street Bridge early Christmas morning. Garcia's friend was questioned and released. An officer was treated and then released from the hospital. Police are still unsure about why Garcia shot at them. Well, neighbors along Lake Road in Webster are allowed to return to see what's left of their homes since an ex-convict started a fire, setting a trap for first responding firefighters. On Tuesday, 62-year-old William Spangler shot 4 firefighters, killing 2 after setting the blaze that wiped out 7 homes and damaged 2 others. Police SWAT teams evacuated more than 30 neighbors early Christmas Eve. Bob Schroeder returned to his home, finding nothing left, and says it's just too much to fathom right now.
I mean, he was a little strange, but I never expected something of this magnitude to ever happen here.
Investigators say Spangler turned the gun on himself. His body was later found near his home. Inside the home, human remains were found. Investigators think it's his sister who lived with him. Right now, they're awaiting autopsy results to find out whether she died in the fire or before. Well, funeral arrangements have now been set for the 2 firefighters who were shot and killed by Spangler when responding to the house fire. Mike Cipriani was a father of 3 and a police lieutenant. He taught young men like 19-year-old Tomas Kachuko how to become firefighters.
Mike was firefighter of the year. We just announced that 2 weeks ago, and it was for a reason. Tomas, he was a young kid, but he was a leader in his own way. He was very energetic, very heartfelt. He put a lot of time and effort into this.
The flag at the West Webster Fire Department hangs at half-staff in tribute to the fallen firefighters. Calling hours for Michael Cipriani and Tomas Kachuko will be held at Webster Schroeder High School on Friday and Saturday. The funeral service for Cipriani will be held at the high school at noon on Sunday, with a burial in West Webster Cemetery. The funeral mass for Kachuko will be held at 10 a.m. Monday at St. Stanislaus Church in Rochester, with a burial at Holy Sepulchre Cemetery. A major winter storm has hit many parts of the country just as everyone is traveling back home after the holidays. Coming up, we'll tell you how flights could be impacted in the Northeast as the storm approaches.
Big day at local malls. I'm Alex Dunbar. If you need to return a gift, we've got the information you need coming up.